Hey guys, a new tutorial. I want to continue on with some V-Ray lighting because it's so exciting. Um, and to be specific, how we can create some custom lights. Of course, we will still use the V-Ray rectangular light, but we're going to create some geometry behind the light and let the light shine on our object, and then it's going to bounce into our scene. And you can create lots of cool shapes and get some really nice reflections. It's just a nice way of lighting things, and you do get even lighting, very nice soft lighting. So I like it a lot. Before we start, if you are getting very when you light things and you get weak shadows, you don't get nice contact shadows. Of course, we have the ambient occlusion to add so we can get some contact shadows, and I do use ambient occlusion on this render. I mean, I could up the global illumination settings to get some finer shadows where there's contacts, but I think it's faster to just add ambient occlusion. But anyways, if you do get weak shadows, you might want to have a look at your lighting setup and where they are positioning so they don't kill each other. And remember, if you have a softbox on the top, like I do have here, but I still get some shadows, but that will kind of weaken out your shadows as well. And just go over the intensity of them, and maybe not have way too many lights. It's not always necessary to have loads of lights, so take it easy with that. So let's get started. Before, if you are interested in, if you don't know, if you want to have like a pattern on your backdrop and you adding it, it's probably not going to look right because of the UV mapping. So you do want to have a unwrap, and in the editor you just select everything like so, and you just go to like flatten mapping. Then of course, if you wanted to, you could connect these to each other. Yeah, but it's not necessary for this because it looks all right. Yeah, so let's get started. So I'm gonna start off with just deleting these lights and start fresh. I'm not gonna be recreating these shapes. You want to add your own stuff there. So now, what do? We create our V-Ray light like so. You don't have to have it super big. Let's do 10 by 10. I'm using centimeters, and I'm using a gamma 2.2. Just so you know, centimeters doesn't really matter. You still have to tweak the intensity and such, so just use whatever it is you like to use. Now let's create our geometry. So I'm just gonna go with a cylinder for this example, like so. This is gonna be our diffuse light, or just the one that's gonna illuminate a lot. I'm just gonna remove, so we just have the cap, and you do want to have some segments here so we can bend this a little bit. So you just do a vertex, take the middle one, go to soft selection, and crank up the fall off. See if we can get something good here. Yeah, that's okay. I am going to give this a color of white or almost white. You can play around with that. I'm gonna go with 255, 245 I mean, like so. And now of course we want to be able to control this. We do need to do like this, and just gonna point that towards our softbox, okay? And you can give it a color. I have a little bit of a blue tint going here. I do have subdiv 16, and I do have I removed the specular and reflection. We're gonna get that from our softbox, okay? So just a diffuse. And another thing for the diffuse lighting, and that is to let's see, cylinder. And that is to exclude everything but our softbox, like so. So now this will only hit our softbox. So we want to connect this, select and link, click and drag. So now we have, you know, when we move this, it's going to follow along. But we also want to have some type of control to with the help of a helper, so we can easily move around our light. Let's do a, what do we do? Let's do a dummy, like so. And for this we do a look at constraint, and we pick our dummy. Now it's gonna be like this, and we want to do keep initial offset, and now we're good. So we can move this around. Perfect. Let's position this the way we want it. This is gonna be our overhead softbox, like so. And I'm just gonna take these two, but not the floor, and just shift drag to make a new one, make a copy of that, and this is going to be our key light, okay? So you do want to have like, let's see, double-sided, yes. The same thing for the diffuse, but we can now, we don't have to exclude anything, okay? Like so. And let's position this. It is using the same dummy now, but that's okay. We're cool with that. Let's just see where we are for now. Yeah, starting to get somewhere. Of course the settings were kind of already added for me there, so pretty nice even lighting, you know, getting some nice shadows, not too much, but let's say we can make this smaller. I'm gonna go to element and just scale this like so. Let's make another render to see if something change. Not much difference there. Maybe some harder shadows because of the smaller light source. Yep. So let's just add one more of these. I'm gonna make this. Let's just make this one a bit stronger. Let's do 200. Now keep in mind I do not use a V-Ray physical camera, no exposure settings here, just so you know. Now we can, if we want to, we could, let's not use the soft selection. We could like select these, we can remove. I'm just gonna select them and just make it a little bit bigger. Let's see how this looks. And move it. Like so, maybe. See how it looks. Nice even light. Yes. It looks pretty sweet. Pretty much perfect. Unbeatable. Of course you can really you can create a bunch of different kind of soft boxes. We can create another one just for fun. What should we do? Let's do a box. We can do a plane. Like so. Just gonna up the segments a little bit. 8 by 8. It doesn't really matter. Let's do a flat one. Okay. Let's do another light. Where are we there? And we want to make this, yes, double-sided. This is going to be another key one. And well, no, we can do it like so. Add an editable poly and just remove a couple of these, like so. And same thing here. Select a link, like so. And we create a dummy or a point helper. Doesn't matter. This up a little bit, and now animation constraint look at and pick R like so. Keep initial offset, and we have another one. Let's move this to the scene. This is so much fun, right? Yes. Just make sure they don't collide with each other. Let's see how this looks. Of course I'm having like a scratched up metally kind of look here. Keep in mind that when doing things like these lights, you might have to up the quality a bit for your render. Now I do have mine pretty much at default. Let's just for fun check it out. Irradiance map, light cache, I have it on low, 80/40, I believe that's default. I'm pretty sure it's like high at in the default. That's way too much. And then I just have 500 subdivs. You can lower that if you want to. And that's pretty much it. And 1 to 4 threshold 0.02 and the noise 0.01. Okay, so pretty much default. There's no secret settings there. I'm just gonna lower this. Let's make this yellow. And let's move it somewhere. I have no idea. Probably gonna be too. No, it actually worked. This is getting white. It's a bit above. You can check if you get some overblown areas, you know, where it's pure white. If you right click with your mouse and you see that little screeny thing that comes up, you can see the color float. If it's above 1, that's not so good. Sometimes it doesn't really matter, but definitely you don't want to have it on the floor. It's gonna look ugly. There are of course tricks to, well, tricks, I don't know, but we have the clamp, so it's gonna like clamp, so it's not gonna go beyond 1, but that's kind of, you know, you should probably stay away from it. And then there's like the exponential or the Reinhardt, which is a mix of linear and exponential. Now I do want to have my stuff at gamma 2.2, and then you really should use linear. And this is also going to, I mean, it's going to help you not getting those overblown areas, but it's also going to desaturate part of your image of using this. So I like to just stick with linear, and I have gamma 2.2 here as well, so that the V-Ray actually can see the dark areas and being able to make the shadows prettier, okay? Otherwise, if you had this at 1, V-Ray is not going to see those dark areas. So yeah, you're going to be able to render faster, but it's going to be grainier, okay? So I like to have that at 2.2. No. So yeah, this is pretty much it, and you can create some awesome looking lights like this. This is just a quick example. I'm sure you can do a lot better. So this is going to be the final render. I like this look. I'm so proud of myself. Okay. Come on. Those last buckets. Always. That's pretty much it. So hopefully you learned something from it. You know, check out my site, teneer.co, if you want to see more tutorials, and maybe even, you know, give me a comment or two. I'm not going to turn that down, so don't be shy. Okay guys, bye.